The Jackson family was big, with plenty of siblings to go through. Rebbie Jackson, Jackie Jackson, Tito Jackson, Toya Jackson, Jermaine Jackson, Marlon Jackson, Michael Jackson, Randy Jackson, and Janet Jackson. All siblings. But this isn't the story about just everyone. This is the story about the king of pop, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was born on 1958, August 29th, in Gary, Indiana. The brothers liked to play on his father's guitar while he was gone. Joe Jackson, the father of the children, always said never to touch the guitar. But one night, Tito accidentally broke the guitar string. All the brothers scattered through the room, fake sleeping, hoping for their father not to rage. When Joseph came home, he figured out, and he busted into the brothers' room. He interrogated all the brothers to figure out which one was one. Tito, crying in the back, gave Joseph the answer. Joseph took out his belt and brutally beat up Tito. Tito showed his father that he had a talent of playing the guitar, and soon after, all the brothers showed their talent of singing and dancing, going to group plays and school theaters. But Michael felt left out. He wanted to show his dad that he can be like his brothers, but Joseph at the time thought he was too young, until he had an idea. Michael sang at a talent show in his school. He had the most beautiful voice out of every child there. After that, Joseph instantly put his son into the Jackson 5.
Joe Jackson, father to Michael Jackson and all the Jackson 5, would abuse them both physically and psychologically. He would hit them if they made the smallest mistakes. Although Michael Jackson did have it worse, being the most talented and making his father jealous of his success, leaving Michael Jackson scared to fight back against his own father, traumatizing the Jacksons and using them for child labor.
Joe Jackson entered his sons into bars and strip clubs. They would sing hit songs from other artists for the people watching, although this did not always end happily. One incident happened when they got off stage. A young woman was walking up the stairs, stopped at young Michael, and kissed him on the cheek. Then she proceeded to walk on the stage. Michael, eager to see what she would do. She then stripped her clothes off, naked, in front of Michael, traumatizing him for the rest of his life. This made Michael frightened to have any sexual interactions with the women. Another incident happened after singing at a strip club. The Jackson 5 and their father proceeded to walk outside of the club into an alleyway to get into their truck. But then they were jumped. Some of their instruments were stolen. Joe was badly beat up. But this did not stop the Jackson 5.
The Jackson 5 was an extremely talented group of 5 brothers: Jackie Jackson, Tito Jackson, Jermaine Jackson, Marlon Jackson, and lead singer Michael Jackson. The first song they made was Big Boy, which was recorded in Steeltown, but they didn't get much attention until they made their first big debut in the Hollywood special by Diana Ross, which showed the world their amazing talent. They later made ABC, which beat Let It Be by the Beatles off the #1 spot in only 4 weeks, which goes to show their amazing talent.
Okay, so my point of view on it is that what the father did to them is horrible and gross, and no one should have to go through that, especially as kids, as children. And the Jackson 5 had the right to decide how much they want to work, and I think the father took that away from them by abusing them both physically and psychologically. Psychologically because he traumatized them, like that's their own blood doing those things to them. And physically because he was hitting them and hurting them and beating them with a belt if they did something wrong. And he was using them to work. That's child labor. And I also don't agree and think it's horrible what he did to his daughters, sexually assaulting his own daughters. I think he is sick in the head.
Michael Jackson would be only 6 years old, starting his touring career. With his brothers, he would be touring to the Midwest and East Coast. From now on, Michael Jackson would be disconnected from ordinary life, to the point where his childhood would be taken away.
Jackson 5 auditioned for Motown. There they met Gordy, one of the best musical icons of all time. From them on, they would become Motown legends.